the Book of Face, and the Tube of You. Hello, hello, hello. If you are tuning in, I just broke my nail right before starting up this episode, which is really, really annoying and frustrating. And it's going to annoy me the rest of the episode. And I don't think I have a nail file. Ugh. Anyway, let me pull up my little lower third. And I see we have Sophia over here. We have Katie over here. I believe we also have Sophia over on the gram of Insta. I'm not, and I can't wave. I don't know. Yes, exactly. Katie says, "Oh no, nail file stat." Yeah, it's right. I don't want to like give you guys the finger or anything, but it's not my middle finger. It's my my index finger, ring finger. Actually where my wedding band and my engagement ring is. So, and yeah, I'll have to look for I'll have to look for my nail file at a certain point. Sophia says, "Rest in peace, fallen keratin soldier." Yes, we thank you for your service. Anyway, see, when I don't take care of them and I don't have any like nail polish on them, that's usually when they start to chip away. That is also the reason why I have a whole bunch of press-on nails, because I don't know if you guys know this. Actually, let me adjust my lighting here because it's a little too high. Okay. I don't know if you guys know this, but press-on nails have become really, really good lately. Like really good. So I have a bunch of them from Impress. I think I got a few from, is it Glametic? I can't remember. And then there was another one I can't remember the name of. Kiss, I think. But one of them is really sweet and it has like a blue sky with fluffy white clouds. There's another one that's clear with like butterflies on it and it's like a stiletto shape. So yeah, I might have to just cut all of these back again or shape them or do something or actually go to the nail place and have them take care of it for me because I'm just a hot mess when it comes to my nails. Hello, Orca Arrow. Yes. Sophia says, music school has just made me accept the little boy hands life. Yeah. And I know that I believe that you're a flautist as well. And that was my former instrument from 4th grade to 6th grade. And I could probably put my hands right now on my flute that I had to have. I didn't want to rent it. I wanted to own it. I don't know why, but that was how I was when I was younger. It's just like all of the speaking of fallen soldiers, all of the fallen soldiers of the hobbies of my youth that I took up so passionately and then abandoned. So Bo is here. Hello to Bo. Yep. Sophia says, LOL, that's how it goes. Yeah, that sure is. And Orca Arrow says, the subject of one of my favorite Far Sides. What, the abandoned hobbies corner? Yeah, exactly. So introductions, if you've never seen one of these episodes before, and tonight, if you read the description, we have no agenda for tonight whatsoever besides doing a live show, and whatever comes up, but you will definitely have the astrology at the beginning of the episode from the wonderful AstroBiz Digest that Teresa Reed, aka the Tarot Lady, puts out there. And you will have the weekend forecast. I was thinking maybe I could pull a card and then we could do a quick tapping associated with whatever card comes up. Or I was thinking maybe we could do a tapping on the card that I've just recently pulled for the card of the day, which is the 10 of Cups. It is reversed. This is from the Reflective Tarot, which is based on the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith. So I was ruminated on a few themes that came up for the 10 of Cups reversed. So, a couple of ideas for the weekend forecast / tapping, possibly. Got to keep my tapping skills or EFT skills sharp. But no real agenda for the topic of tonight's episode besides a kind of like ask me anything. I was also going to mention that the newest episode of the Card Slingers Coast to Coast podcast came out today. Definitely a pride themed episode. I think the name of the episode is A Bunch of Queerdos. We had a lot of fun recording that episode. I hope it shows through in the episode, but also we were quite serious at points too. So check that out wherever you subscribe to your podcasts. Let me catch up on the gram of Insta. Yeah, Orca Arrow says the elephant sitting at the piano saying, "What am I doing, for crying out loud? I'm a flautist." That sounds right up my alley. Unfortunately, I can't wave to everybody on the gram of Insta for some reason, but I'm trying to wave to you. If I don't, it's not because I'm not trying, it's because it won't let me. So a couple more people joining. Kayate or Kayati, probably mispronounce it, I'm sorry. Libra Does Tarot is here as well. Orca Era says, love the podcast. Thanks for being so responsive. You're very, very welcome. I don't know if we've covered your particular topic or episode ideas. If we haven't, always feel free to reach out to us. cardslingerscc@gmail.com. I believe Jamie usually monitors the email, but definitely we all read the email because she'll bring it up to us before we sit down and do a recording. Even if we don't record on the episode, we will then get together and provide a response back to you if you write to us. I primarily run the Twitter account, so that's usually me speaking in my love language, which is random gifts. So yeah, we definitely take your feedback, and if the subject of it is, you want to come out to someone and you don't feel safe coming out and you want to come out to someone, we're here. We're your listening ear, or your email, or, our inbox is always open for you when our ears are always open, and we love you and we honor you and we are glad you are in the world. So, Katie says, I play the piano, so nails are not permitted. LOL. No clickety clack on the ivories. Yeah, I mean, I am not a piano player, but longer nails definitely get in the way when I'm trying to type. I definitely have keyboarding skills, and they just get in the way when I'm trying to type. And then I get annoyed because I write, and that I'm a faster typist than I am handwritten at this point. So then it gets in the way of my train of thought, and then I get very angry and very frustrated. So, pun intended, Sophia asks for came out. Yeah-ish. Yeah, I guess. I wasn't entirely intentional, but sure. Yeah. So introductions. Hello, everybody. I am Hilary, professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful gifts, your own intuition, because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. I firmly believe that everybody has intuition. And one of the tools that I have used over the last 25 years in accessing my intuition and also showing other people their intuition is the tarot cards and cartomancy. It's not the only tool for intuition or for accessing your intuition, but it is certainly a very viable one, and one that is based in the pictures and symbology and the archetypes that are presented on tarot cards. And we covered this a little bit in the latest episode of the Card Slingers Coast to Coast podcast, where representation matters. We've had episodes in the past regarding Black Lives Matter and what can three white women do. So it's not just representation of skin color or ethnicity. It is also representation of minorities and gender and sexual preferences, and not having just, you know, heterosexual relationships depicted in the tarot. Even though, I mean, like, this is a great example, the fact that the 10 of Cups came up today as the card of the day, and this is based upon the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith, which is still pretty traditional of a deck. I mean, you've got the nice rainbow there, but other than that, the symbology isn't really changed, it's just reflective. So you see the man and the woman and the 2.5 kids and the white picket fences, which might not represent the person your reading is for, sexuality or idea of a happy family life, or you know anything like that. So you do have to remember, when you're using a tool like the tarot, to be finding tarot decks that are more inclusive, more representative of the people that you are reading for. We do talk a little bit about this in the latest episode, where it's just like, it's pretty uncomfortable to see, all the white kings, and your client happens to be a Black lesbian, like, you should be using decks with that client so that they can see their life and their representation in the cards. And we have been getting better at this in recent years, but we're still not quite there yet. So it's always a reminder to keep on making sure that everyone is welcome at that tarot table, whether, it's different genders, different sexual preferences, and also, no one owes you their pronouns or their representation, like, no one. If don't out people. I mean, I wish I didn't have to say that, but don't. So yeah, if you do want to check out that episode of the Card Slingers Coast to Coast podcast, you can find that wherever you subscribe to your podcasts. We are on pretty much every podcast platform that's out there right now. But show notes can be found on Podbean, our site on Podbean. So I will put that into the chat on the Book of Face and the Tube of You. For you Instagrammers out there, the gram of Insta, I've already provided I think a couple of links there and some audio snippets that made me really, really laugh because it was such a good episode that it was hard to find the exact audio snippet that I wanted to promote the episode. So, Sophia says, absolutely, this might hurt, and the Luna edition of Ethereal Visions are always in my gig bag. Old World Tarot on Make playing cards is also fabulous and a bit darker in tone than the other two. Good suggestions. And I think we did mention that this might hurt tarot as one of the decks that we talked about in this episode. Let me just double check that. Yes, we did. So we talked about Querying the Tarot by Cassandra Snow, which is a book on this subject. The Pride Tarot by US Games, Modern Witch Tarot, This Might Hurt as well. Melissa recommended the Mystic Garbage Tarot, the Animal Totem Tarot, the Slow Holler Tarot. Jamie recommended the Transient Light Tarot, and cited Charlie Claire Burgess from the Fifth Spirit Tarot, about talking about deconstructing the binary and talking about energy rather than gender. And I recommended animal or nature decks and also archetype decks. I don't think we put the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck on there in the show notes, but I definitely mentioned that one too. Not just the Wild Unknown Tarot, which is excellent, but also the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck, which is not technically a tarot deck. And I was also looking for my Archetypes deck, possibly for like the weekend forecast, and I just couldn't find it. This is going to be a problem in the upcoming months when we're looking to move, because I have to organize myself, because right now my tarot decks are all over the apartment, not just in one place, which is not great. All right. Yeah, so I wanted to mention about the episode that came out, especially because it is Pride Month, and the episode literally just came out today, because new episodes are released for the Cardslinger Coast to Coast podcast every second and fourth Friday. And I actually had to mention it, like, hey, weren't we releasing that today? Because for some reason the scheduler on our podcasts failed us for the second time in a row. So we had to push it manually. But I'm glad that I, asked about it, because I was trying to promote it, and I was sitting down going like, hey, wait a minute, I'm not seeing this on my music platform that I listen to my podcasts on. So what the heck's going on? So Sophia also says Kim Kranz is also coming out with a new deck real soon. Yes, the new deck and the final deck in basically the Wild Unknown collection. So I think it's going to be 4 decks in total. The Wild Unknown Tarot, the Animal Spirit Oracle, the Wild Unknown Archetypes, which I just mentioned, and then there's going to be a 4th one. Cannot remember the name of the 4th one right now. If it comes to me, I will mention it. I'm going to pull up the stuff for the AstroBiz Digest right now, and if it happens to pop up the name of the new deck from Kim Kranz, I will look for it. Actually, let me just look for it right now. Might as well. Alchemy. By the way, I am also having a mermaid pilsner tonight. Yes, exactly. Alchemy. The Alchemy deck. Fantastic. Okay. So is everybody ready for the astrology or astrology? Y'all, last night was really weird. Last night was a very weird energy. I didn't know what was going on. It was strange around, I think it was like 10:45. And I was just like, I was just feeling really cagey and weird. It was almost like the same energy I feel like when a thunderstorm is brewing, but there was no thunderstorm. There was just something about yesterday around like 10:45 Eastern Standard Time at night. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then our neighbors started to play their music really loud. And then I heard banging. And then I was just like, I need to get out of here. I just felt like caged. It was bizarre. And my husband was out watching the hockey game, because his team is in the playoffs run, and if they don't win tomorrow, they're going to be knocked out, and that's going to be very sad. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen, and they continue on to the next round, or the final round, I think. But since he was out and I knew that the game had finished, I texted him and I was just like, I'll come get you. It was only across town, and and I was just like, I just can't be here right now. And I was only gone for about a half an hour, and we came back and everything was really quiet, and the energy kind of dissipated a little bit. But like, we came home, I parked my car. We had passed by the other cars that were parked where I park. And we had already like crossed the street and crossed the other street. So we were diagonally across from where I park, and the car alarm just started going off. Not mine, another car. No one was near it. So I was just like, that's weird. And then 2 seconds later, there was an ambulance that barreled through the intersection. No lights on or anything. And then there was a police car with you know, the sirens and the whooping. I'm like, all right, we need to get inside. I don't know what's going on. So Joy Girl Candle says yes. Okay, so I'm glad you guys, I'm assuming you guys are experiencing the same thing that I'm talking about, that things were like weird. And also Sophia is saying yes as well with exclamation points. So yeah, I don't know what that was about. Maybe we'll take a look at the Astrobiz Digest and figure it out. But then I was going through the gram of Insta, and one of my fellow Gala Darling Method tapping certification graduates, she is an astrologer. She had put up the um, astrology for today and kind of like going into the weekend. And then I saw from somebody else, like, oh, going into the full moon this weekend. I'm just like, oh, like, am I really like that out of it? But I guess so. I'm just like, I think we are in the throes of um, the 3 days before, day of, 3 days after a full moon. So we're not there yet, but the effects are being felt. So if you felt weird, or if you felt caged, or if you felt like something's a little, I don't know what, it might be because we got the full moon coming up. Don't quote me on that. I will look it up in the Astrobiz Digest, as we do at the start of every episode, and see what's going on with that. And I need to plug in my computer, so let me do that. I'm glad to know I'm not the only one, Sophia. The moon sneaks up on me every time. I try to be a better witch. I try. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult. Oh yeah, and I have all of my. I was gonna put on lip gloss or lipstick for y'all before I started up, and then I forgot. And Dina is also our resident astro expert, and she's saying on the gram of Insta, moon in deep Scorpio this afternoon. Well, that might do it too. Oof. I don't. It was, and I know something's happening with Libra and Saturn and Uranus, I think, but don't take it from me. Let's take a look at the Astrobiz Digest. Here we go. So I will display that on screen for the tube of you and the Book of Face. Sorry, I can't display it over on the gram of Insta. But for those of you who are on the gram of Insta, if you want to send me any questions, you can, using that feature, the questions feature, which has a little, conversation bubble with the question mark in it. You can feel free to send me questions that way. Questions in general. I felt like maybe doing an Ask Me Anything kind of session, rather than having a specific topic to teach or focus on. I know we had the request to teach non-illustrated pip cards or minor arcana numeral cards, and I just don't feel confident in teaching it. I looked up a couple of things, but I didn't necessarily agree with their methodologies. And so, yeah, if I do have that information, I will send it along to the person that requested the episode, for you to do your own research. But I don't feel confident enough to teach on that. Anyway, so astrology from Teresa Reed, aka the Tarot Lady. It is a subscription that is $99 for the year, and you get astrology in layman's terms every month and every week and every day, so that you can be prepared, not scared. And it is geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners, but I found it to be very effective in my personal life as well. And Sophia says completely fair about the non-illustrated pip cards. Thank you very much for understanding. I never want to teach anything that I don't at least have some grasp on, because that is authenticity. And it is also much more, I guess, honest in saying that I don't know, because that's not how I teach. I usually teach with illustrated cards. Um, I don't know what Joy Girl Candles is saying for wow, that's cool. It could be the questions field. It could be about non-illustrated pips. It could be about the AstroBiz Digest. I don't know. Um, you'll have to elaborate on that. So let us look at the astrology. Do. Oh, also a reminder that my book is available for pre-order. It comes out November 22nd, 2022. And you can find information about that on my website, tarotbyhilary.com. That's Hilary with one L. I have created a page for it so that you can then link to Amazon if you want to pre-order it. There is also indiebound.org where you can look up your local bookstore. Please support your local independent retailers if you wish. And you can always ask them, how do I pre-order this book through you? So I'm able to give you the business. And I think it's also available on barnesandnoble.com for pre-order too. So just a little aside about my book. So we are in June 6th to the 12th. We are Friday, June 10th, 2022. So the cosmos are busy this week, but none of the planets are changing signs. So this means that the energy is fluctuating, but on a minor scale. Long story short, you've got this. P.S. The Mercury will be slowly moving out of the shadow period. Expect everything to speed up. Yeehaw. And I think that happened yesterday, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe that was the lingerings. I don't know. Yeah, because Thursday night I had said that I was going to do some email readings, and also encourage people to order email readings so that I could do, more of them all together. I like to batch out my email readings when I'm doing them. But supposedly 9:57 p.m., moon trine to the sun, fantastic spot for late night meetings of all sorts. Seal important deals or forge new alliances at that time. Use it wisely. Then again, it wasn't a weekday for Aries. From Wednesday and Thursday, and Friday as well. So I don't know if it was me or not, but it didn't sound like it was just me when I put that out there. So I don't know what was going on with that. Anyway. So Friday, today, June 10th, 2022, all of these transits or astrological things are in Eastern Standard Time. So please note that and do your time zone conversion accordingly. Tap Into Magic is here on the gram of Insta. Hello, my dear. How are you doing? Another fellow GDM graduate. By the way, the directory is live. So if I can't help you with tapping, there are like 30 other people that can also help you if I'm not your particular cup of tapping tea. There are other people that graduated from the Gala Darling method that can help you. So, all right, astrology. So today, Friday, host meetings with your team at 8:27 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The moon trines Saturn at that time, and it's ideal for mapping out future plans or brainstorming new ideas. It's also excellent for team building exercises. Lastly, this would be a stellar slot for a clever social media PR campaign. A funny post or entertaining live stream could bring a lot of new folks your way. Slow your roll when the moon stations void at 1:36 p.m., a spot better suited for a nap instead of working. And Joy Girl Candle says, congrats, team GDM. Thank you so much, Joy. So moon stations void 1:36 p.m. Spot better suited for a nap instead of working. Get back into the saddle when the moon coasts into mysterious Scorpio. I believe Dina was talking about this before at 4:41 p.m. The next few days are your best time for strategizing sessions or handling financial issues. It's also pretty decent for launching joint ventures as well. The moon in Scorpio is also psychic as hell. Trust your gut in every decision you need to make this weekend. I think we're going to have to do the tapping, folks, at the end of this episode, based on the 10 of Cups. But I also did a really quick tapping video on the Talk of Tick a couple of days ago. So I could probably borrow language from there too. Making sure that we actually lean into trusting our guts and trusting our intuitions for every decision we need to make this weekend, since moon in Scorpio, right? Mercury trines Pluto at 5:21 p.m., making the evening powerful for meetings of all kinds, especially involving large sums of money. Okay, yes, please. Yes, please, pay me. Yes, book a reading with me. tarotbyhilary.com. So today, Friday, June 10th, is a power day for Libra and a weekday for Aries. So as you all know, I'm your favorite Aries blunt-ass ram-headed tarot reader. So weekdays for Aries, not so great for me, but we can change that around, can't we? Any questions about Friday before we move into Saturday and Sunday? And I'm going to go ahead and take down that. I'll pause for a second there. Joy Girl Candles is giving me the money bags emojis and the money tongue emoji. I mean, how else do you describe the emoji with the tongue sticking out and he's green and he has the money sign on it? Money tongue. That sounds really dirty. So Sophia saying good so far. Cool. Continuing on. So Saturday and Sunday. Mercury is out of the shadow period on Saturday. Okay, so I spoke too soon. We're not out of there yet. We're going to be tomorrow. Okay. And Joy is laughing at my money tongue description of that emoji, I'm sure. So yeah, Mercury is out of the shadow period on Saturday, so you may feel that the energy is genuinely lifted at last. The morning and afternoon are clear, best for getting your finances in order or plotting world domination. Teresa will be taking the day off to celebrate her birthday. That's right, her birthday is tomorrow. My favorite Gemini, by the way. Venus conjunct Uranus. There's that Uranus thing that I was talking about before. Venus conjunct Uranus at 6:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time levels up creative vibes. If you're tapping into this, you may come up with the next big money-making idea. Again, money. All right, do you guys want me to do it? Money. It's also a terrific aspect for mixing business with pleasure. All right, I'll bring my business cards out for the Rangers game then. A party with some VIP clients or industry influencers would be a boss move. But, there's a big but coming up here. The moon will oppose that conjunction at 9:05 p.m. People could get weird around this time. So keep the liquor cabinet locked. Oh, God, okay. And you might avoid a Real Housewives episode on your dime. Okay. Mentally preparing myself. Got it, Teresa. So that's Saturday. Sunday starts off on a gnarly note with the Moon-Saturn square at 10:45 a.m. A trine between the Moon and Neptune follows a few minutes later. What does this mean? Lighten up and forget about work today. It's better to indulge in some much-needed play. Also, the Moon will be in party-hardy Sagittarius at 6:31 p.m., which keeps the playful spirit bopping all night long. Take the damn day off and enjoy yourself. Work can wait until Monday. Really. So both days, Saturday and Sunday, are power days for Scorpio and weekdays for Taurus. Woo! Okay. So when's the full moon then? I think the full moon might be early into next week. No? Yes? Am I like misremembering here? I might have to go to Moon Giant right now and see when the full moon is. It's going to bother me otherwise. Or Cafe Astrology. Enjoy. Yeah, it's next week. Okay, cool. So the next full moon is June 13th, 2022, which I believe, yeah. Yeah, it's Monday. Was I right? Was I right without knowing that I was going to be right? Yeah, it's Monday. Oh, and that's perfect. I have a check-in with someone too. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Um, and that's the strawberry. It's known as a strawberry moon. I'm gonna look. Yeah. Well, I guess it must be happening late Monday into Tuesday. So you'll want to look up the local date and time for the full moon. But we don't have to worry about that until Monday, folks. Monday into Tuesday. Okay. So Sophia says, thank God the shadow is ending. I've been having my ex trying to slide back into my life. No thanks. I hear ya. Yeah. I got a message. I got a message from my ex too. Because apparently it was like World Tarot Day last week, but I'm just like, and so he like messaged me and said Happy World Tarot Day. And I'm just like, I don't what? Because I wasn't familiar with that either. And, I'm used to seeing it as either, what was it? Can't remember if it was March 25th or May 25th, as founded by Den Elder. And then some people co-opted April Fool's Day because of the Fool as World Tarot Day. And then somebody was saying July 8th because 78 cards of the tarot. So last week I was not thinking about tarot or World Tarot Day at all because it's not any of the dates that I'm familiar with. But apparently like YouTube had this whole thing and they had like tarot readers, but they were like YouTube famous tarot readers. And I love y'all, but I'm not quite there yet because I'm not doing that whole, this is what he thinks about you. This card is how he thinks about you kind of forecasty readings. I mean, I don't think I'm even capable of that. Anyway, yeah, so Sophia says Tuesday for the full moon. Dina says yes, but moon is waxing towards crazy. LOL. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Got it. Sophia says, yep, that's what the excuse was for me too. No, are you serious? Oh, man. Wonder if we have the same ex. Dina says, full moon, Tuesday the 14th, early morning, 7:51 a.m. Thank you. Men be menning. Yeah, I guess so. So I would like to open up the floor to anyone that had any weird kind of vibes in the past week. And if you want me to take a look at the AstroBiz Digest and let's see if there was an astrological reason behind that. If not, we'll move right into the main topic of the episode, which is there is no main topic. I just figured I didn't want to cancel, I like spending the time with you all on Friday nights at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will put that up here too. Where's my crawler? We do this every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do different topics on divination, tools, metaphysical topics. And I am also open to suggestions if I am able to teach them. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I don't have that background information, or sometimes even if I do the research, I don't feel confident in the topic enough to teach it. So also, I'm like, right now, the internet is a very scary place for me. Hello, Camroa. Let me wave to you on the gram of Insta. Um, I am dodging Stranger Things spoilers for season 4 left and right because I was sleeping on Stranger Things. I didn't watch it. I think we tried a couple of years ago to watch the first season, first episode. We got as far as the first episode and then we stopped. So, and sometimes, you have to be in the mood to get into a topic or get into a series or a book. And so you try it and then you try again later, And so I have to do this with my husband for Game of Thrones, and finally got him into it. But it took a bit of doing. But now we're on season 2. Episode 5 or 6. So I'm seriously dodging things, and that's freaking Kate Bush song. I love it, but I'm starting to hate it because it's been played too much, and it's apparently in a pivotal scene, and I'm just like, like, I'm just running in the, if I see anything related to that, I'm running in the other direction. It's just like, please don't spoil it for me. Anyway, so Camroa, hello from Oslo. Hello. Welcome. Greetings from New York. That's awesome. So it's very interesting that you're tuning in from Oslo, because we're traveling at the end of July into I think it's 2 weeks, and so we're flying into Amsterdam, hopefully, and cruising from Amsterdam, and we're going to Norway and Iceland and Northern Ireland, I believe. And Cork, if I'm remembering correctly. And I actually got a reading this past week from a wonderful fellow reader that is also an artist. She doesn't open up her reading books that often, so I was just like, I leapt on it because sometimes you just need a reading from another reader. And she read me to filth, and it was very uncomfortable. But I kind of put my feelers out there because it was mostly like related to business. Like, I really wanted it to be a business reading. And I said, I am traveling, but I also want to be able to put it out there that it's just like, I'm going to be in these countries or cities on these dates, and I would love to meet people, people that might tune into these weekly episodes, or even people that I've read for before over like Zoom or Skype or email readings. And so I was just like, what can you tell me about that? And she was just like, no, I think it's a good move, and I think you should start putting your feelers out now. So I'm going to put my feelers out. You've heard it here first. Camroa says, love Iceland. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard wonderful things. Joy Girl Candle says Ireland is beautiful. I have been to Ireland before. I went in 2012, but we were in Kells, so County Meath. We went to Sligo. We went to Kildare, Roscommon. I think a couple of other places. We did go to Dublin. We flew into Dublin. And so I think we had 2 days in Dublin, one the day we arrived, and then the day we were leaving. Camroa says, where in Norway are you visiting? I'll have to look it up for you. Ooh, wait, hold on a second. Oh, cool. Okay, so we're getting All right, we're getting into the main crux of the episode, like ask me anything or possible topic suggestions. So I will look that up for you in a second, Camroa. Sophia says, for the future, basics on Canva would be amazing. I love all the cute things you've been making with it. Oh, thank you so much, Sophia. It's actually very user friendly. I do have a pro account though. So that does make things easier, and also it helps with the whole reason I upgraded to the pro account was because of the making a background transparent. That's very helpful to make things so pretty and be able to focus like on the tarot card that I'm focusing on, and then have a background be whatever I want it to be. So yeah, but noted, and I will write that down for a future episode. So thank you. I forgot to say hello to Chally. So hello, Chally. I'm great. How are you doing? Katie is seconding the Canva suggestion, and Sophia says, I love Cork City. I think my husband's family on his Irish side is originally from Cork. And he's never been to Ireland before. When I went to Ireland in 2012, I went on like a witchy trip. We called it the Magical Mystery Tour. So we ended up doing a lot of path working on sacred sites, which was amazing. Really, really great. I'm going to take off the crawler here and say hi to more people. So the Crystal Healing Temple is here on the gram. Jamie is here too, one of my fellow co-hosts for the Card Slingers Coast to Coast podcast. Jamie, I was just telling them about our recent episode that just came out today, and also letting them know how long and hard I tried to find a snippet to advertise the episode. I think the Ben Franklin's face on a hot rack and not knowing their pronouns was the best one to go with. So it made me laugh. Honestly, there's like this part after Melissa says it where like there's a pause and then there's kind of like a noise there. You can't even ascertain what that noise was. It was probably me stifling down a snort because I was just like I was laughing. I think I choked on my laugh. I think that's what that sound was. Jamie says, LOL, that was a good quote. Like, I was just flabbergasted because I was just like, where else? What other podcast are you going to hear that particular sentence? Only our podcast, really. So let me look up. So we already did the astrology, and I'm just going to pull up my itinerary. All right, I've got the invoices. I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, man. So why did I say Norway? Oh no. So Camero, unfortunately, I'm not visiting Norway. I had it in my head that we were visiting Norway, but that was from originally like a few years ago when we were trying to plan our 5-year anniversary, and it was another trip that we had planned. So we're not going to be in Norway, unfortunately. I'm so sorry. We are going to be in Amsterdam, Akureyri, Iceland for I think 2 days. Reykjavik. We're going to be in Belfast, Ireland, Waterford, Ireland, Cork, Ireland, and then back to Amsterdam. So unfortunately, we're missing Norway entirely. I'm very sorry. What is the name of the podcast? Is it on Spotify? Yes, it is. Our podcast is Card Slingers Coast to Coast. And yes, it is on Spotify. I can confirm that for you, Jamie. It is on Spotify. No hyphens. So Card Slingers Coast to Coast. Yes, but Iceland is beautiful. I'm looking forward to it. So, yeah, I wanted to kind of put that out there and be like, listen, I am going to be on vacation, but hey, if plans align and I'm able to meet people, so much the better. So Tarot Elf is also here on the gram of Insta. I'm trying to wave to you. It's not letting me. Dina says, ask me anything. Do you pull a tarot card for the month? And if so, what prompts do you ask yourself with it? Yes. So getting into tonight's episode, which is kind of an ask me anything episode, but it also is just, I wanted to make sure I was here for you guys. I know some of you plan your week around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday nights, which I so appreciate. That just makes my heart sing. It's really nice. And I'm glad to do it for you. Can you write down the name on the podcast? Card Slingers Coast to Coast. Jamie already did it, but I'll do it here. Card Slingers. I'm not going to be able to do it, but Jamie already did it. Card Slingers Coast to Coast. So Dina's asking, do you pull a card for the month? And if so, what prompts do you ask yourself with it? Yes. So Dina, if you're not awesome, great. So you found it. Great. Another listener. Yay. So Dina, if you're not already a newsletter subscriber, you should become one. So just tarotbyhilary.com. I think all of you already know my website at this point, tarotbyhilary.com. That's Hilary with one L. And you can subscribe at the top or even at the bottom. And that's where I put the card of the month. I do it for my newsletter subscribers. However, I do also put it up on my website on the predictions and forecast page, and I make sure to update that after I send out the newsletter. So the newsletter subscribers will always get it first, and then I'll usually either wait a couple of hours or a day, and then I'll put it up on my website. Tarot Elf says, hello from Melbourne, Australia. Just listened to you all on the podcast. Love it. Off to work now. Tarot reading. You go have a great tarot reading, Tarot Elf. Thank you for listening. And Jamie is also saying thank you for listening and have a good work shift. So yes. Do I pull a tarot card for the month? Yes. And it is up available for newsletter subscribers on the side panel of the newsletter email. And then also up on my website in the predictions and forecast page. So let me pull that up for people that are on the Tube of You and the Book of Face. But it's also in the top navigation on my website under predictions and forecasts. So you can just click on that from the top navigation, or you can just put in tarotbyhilary.com/predictions-forecasts, and you'll be able to find it that way too. I'm going to drop that in here. So the answer is yes. That's where to find it. And if so, yes, what prompts do you ask yourself with it? I ask myself the prompt very similar to the prompt that I use for daily tarot card pulls, which is instead of saying, what do I need to know for today? I say, what do I need to know for this month? Or I'll modify with, what do my newsletter readers need to know for this month? Or what do we all need to know for this month? Because for me, my tarot card pull or my monthly card of the month pull is not just for me. It's not just my personal practice. It is also something that I gift to my followers, my listeners, my readers, my clients, basically, or my prospective clients. That's another free resource or free value giving that I give, so that, I can't say, oh, well, oh, you never do anything for free, or like, I do tons of things for free. So, if people don't have the money to book a one-on-one session with me, and not even for like one of my cheaper options or my less money options, which would be an email reading, at least I'm giving people something, you know, because I never want to be accused of, you know, being cheap or not affordable or, not accessible. There's always something for everyone. I try to, you know, I, tr- I don't want to say it this way because, the phrase is when you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one. That's not really not my intention for doing the card of the day or the card of the month, but it is something that I like to put out there to show people, like, here's how I interpret things. Here is, a free card or card of the month or card of the day. This is how I interpret. If you like what you're reading, it might not be applicable for you because there's no way one tarot card can apply to everybody that's reading it. But if you like what it sounds like or you enjoy how I interpret things, maybe it will encourage you to book a one-on-one session with me. So, it's marketing, but it's also kind of a free service that I provide. So like, for example, this past month, this month for June, I pulled the Page of Cups, which was lovely. And when I was writing out the interpretation for the Page of Cups, I was also looking back on what our card of the month was for the past month, for the month of May, and seeing how the energy shifted and changed, or if the energy shifted and changed. Because sometimes we have a period of a few months where we have more difficult cards. And it seems like we're almost like shifting through that energy card by card, month by month. And then eventually we come out to the other side and you look back on those cards of the months from previous and you kind of see that story running through it. So I feel like it's also another way to learn the tarot in a different way. So this month we had the Page of Cups, but last month we had the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords to me was about testing your projections to see if they were true or false, and also reclaiming your support system because, it was there. It's there. So this month we had the Page of Cups, and I felt like I honestly let out a sigh when I saw it. Like, I was just like, phew, okay. And embracing the strangeness and the softness of the Page of Cups, because the Page of Cups is talking to a freaking fish and he has a funny hat on. It's kind of like a comical card that also reminds us not to take ourselves so seriously. Also, the Page of Cups is one of the 13 stage cards of the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. I didn't previously know about stage cards until I looked it up, and I referred to Sasha Graham's Tarot Diva, where I first learned about that subject. And we actually did a previous episode on stage cards if you want to go back into the archives and take a look at that. Cam Roy also says, I got to look up the podcast and hopefully see you again, but have to sleep. Time here is 1:30 a.m. You are a rock star. Best wishes to your holiday, and Iceland is the best. Try the Lochries, best in the world. Lochries. All right. I will try that. I'll need a reminder on the spelling on that. I'll let Mr. Tarot by Hilary know, because he's already been doing research. He gets very cute when we're going on a holiday. So thank you so much for tuning in. It's an honor. Get some sleep. The Imaginary Restaurant is also here on the gram of Insta. Hello, welcome. So yeah, does that answer your question, Dina? Pulling a tarot card for the month? Yes. If so, what prompts do you ask yourself with it? All of the above, all of what I just said. Katie said, we love being here. Thank you so much, Katie. Hello. Sophia says, how do you store your decks? Are you a bag person, boxes, or original boxes? All of the above on that. By the way, the Imaginary Restaurant, you're joining us for a kind of like Ask Me Anything episode. So if you want to use the use the questions thing on the gram of Insta. It's a little conversation bubble with a question mark in it. If you happen to have any questions, so this is more like general. Do you have a question? Ask me anything, not a prompting of one card pulls. Okay, just putting it out there. I think all of you already understand that vibe because you've been around here long enough to know that. So Sophia asked, how do you store your decks? Are you bag person boxes, original boxes? It really depends. And actually, I put this into the forthcoming book, How to Read Tarot, Flame Tree Publishing, November 22nd, 2022. Thank you very much. I have to go back in my memory vault on how I answered that. Yeah, I did. So I did a chapter on, I think, working with your tarot deck. And I also referred to basically what to do with a new tarot deck and how to store it, storing versus not storing it. And the answer really is about the packaging. How good is the packaging? So I'm a bag person if the original packaging sucks. So if it is a flimsy cardboard box, that will tend to fox the edges of a deck. I am probably going to discard the original flimsy box and put it into a bag. So in those cases, I'm a bag person. If the packaging is good and the box is strong and reinforced, then I'm going to keep it in the original box. Yeah. Boxes, original boxes. I do have, I think I have at least one wooden box that's very nice and beautiful and can store one tarot deck. So I think I've used that before. I can't remember where I put it though. I think it might be at my mom's. I don't know. And my mom has been on a cleaning kick lately too. So, you know, every time I see her, she's got more things to give me. And I'm just like, Mom, you know that we're going to have to move soon, right? Like, you're not helping. And she's just like, well, it's got to go somewhere. And I'm just like, yeah, but you got to give it to me. It was fine where it was. Anyway, baby steps. So, yeah, boxes, if they are strong enough, or if the packaging is strong enough, not flimsy, and bags if the packaging is flimsy. And as for bags, there's wonderful bags out there on the market. Like, you can find so many more options for tarot bags. It's really nice. Moonlit Fae is an incredible tarot bag maker. I wish I had one of hers to hand right now, but I don't. I literally just saw, I have two. I have the one that came with the Pocket of Peers Kickstarter. And I have one that Jamie got me that is red and has Aries all over it. Jamie also makes, I believe, either crochets or knits tarot bags. I have one from her. Jamie says, I have my wife sew me 3D bag box things on a pattern by T. Susan Chang. I also love Moonlit Fae's bags. Yes, I know you do. And you've also crocheted or knitted me bags before. I have my one that I keep my Gaian tarot in, from the Soulful Proprietor. Imaginary Restaurant says, sitting in a home filled with my ancestors' things, even if you pass it on for her. Yeah. And Jamie says, yes, I've made crocheted bags. Yeah. So yeah, if the packaging is good, and listen, publishers and deck creators, independent creators, mass market creators, they have caught wise that we want something strong, something that'll last the test of time, and also protects the damn tarot deck so that we don't have foxed edges or bent edges or anything like that. Imaginary Restaurant is also seconding the Moonlit Fae bags. I buy all the bee pattern bags. Yep. Jamie says, I don't do it often, but I can and will do. But Just One Jera also has joined, so let me wave to you. But yeah, the packaging has been so much better lately that, original packaging is usually the way I go. I subscribe to Ipsy, which is a makeup samples subscription thing. And they would send a cute little makeup bag and also 5 samples. And those fit most normal sized tarot decks. So, in many cases, if the boxes have been flimsy, I've been transferring over those tarot decks into an Ipsy bag. So, and greetings to new viewers. If you're just jumping in, it's an Ask Me Anything episode. In general. um, And Sophia also makes them too. If you ever need bags or wraps, I make them. I finally figured it out a few months ago. I Thank you. I will keep that in mind. I am also I can sew. Not very well. I mostly can hand sew. I'm not great with the sewing machine. I do have, I think, I do have a sewing machine in my mom's storage, if I'm remembering correctly, but I can hand sew and I can knit. So if anyone has any knitting patterns for tarot bags, I'd be more than happy to get a copy of those so that I can knit again, because yeah, I feel like I need shorter projects. I knit a lot of like hats, but it's summer now and it's too warm for the beanie knit hats that I make. So Jamie says, I don't sew well at all. Kendra, on the other hand, is amazing. Well, of course, Kendra's amazing. Why wouldn't she be? Okay, cool. But yeah, that's my answer. Bags and boxes, I store either way, but it really does depend on how the box is. If it's flimsy, yes, I will put the tarot deck into a bag to protect it. Okay. Like for example, the reflective tarot here, it's solid. It's a solid box. So my only complaint is it's one of these kind of oh gosh, what's the name of it? I'm probably using this wrong, but it's like a kaleidoscope box. It doesn't have a magnetic closure or anything. And so when I have boxes like this and I throw it into like my tarot bag to store all my tarot decks, like when I'm on the go, going to a client's house or a public event, I don't really like to just throw this in without putting like a hair tie around it to make sure that it doesn't open up in my tarot bag and dump the cards everywhere. So the imaginary restaurant says, if I knit a bag, it would stand up on its own. Tension issues. I understand that. Sometimes I was knitting so tight that I couldn't get, take it however you want to. I couldn't get it in the hole. Sophia says, when I've knit them, I've just made a rectangle and folded it up at the bottom to make a pocket. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that. My mom originally taught me how to knit. So she taught me how to, originally she taught me how to knit. And then she taught me how to cast on. And in between them, she would have to cast on for me, and then I would knit. And then she would have to cast off for me. And then I was just like, well, but I don't want to have to rely on you. So, and so I was making all my Barbies these like tiny scarves because that's all I could do, and then she finally taught me how to cast on. And then it was like years before she taught me how to cast off. I'm like, so all the whole thing about like following a knitting pattern, I kind of had to figure out myself. Like she told me how to knit. She taught me how to knit. She taught me how to purl. She taught me to cast on. She taught me to cast off. But other than that, she really didn't teach me anything else. So I had to like learn what knit two together meant. Yeah. Jamie says, laughing my ass off, whole jokes. Yes, exactly. Hello to Joe Wings of Joy. We're doing an Ask Me Anything episode. I am looking at the time. We are a little bit over an hour. So I do kind of want to wrap things up, do the weekend forecast, send you on your way. Nomadic Jess is also here on the gram of Insta. But yeah, I'm going to use my widget. I forgot to use the widget that I just uncovered last week, the Follow Us widget, which is super, super cute. And weirdly enough, it looks different on different platforms. I really just want to bite this nail off. I'm so annoyed with myself. So let me put on the countdown to the weekend forecast. And give us maybe another 3 minutes. So ask your remaining Ask Me Anything questions, or forever hold your peace, or forever hold your peace until the next episode. Actually, I really like this episode. We might have to do this again, that kind of Ask Me Anything format. Of course, that also doesn't mean that it's like a complete free for all and I'm going to answer every single question. Just the questions that I'm willing to answer. Because I would like to go have dinner and watch more Stranger Things. Could also ask me questions about tapping too. I don't mind. Oh, it's funny you asked that, Sophia, because when I was thinking about topics for tonight's episode, I was thinking about doing a top 5 tarot books episode, because last week we did top 5 oracle decks at the moment, and the week before that we did top 5 tarot decks. So I was just like, maybe I should do a top 5 tarot books at the moment. So I'm going to have to write that down too. I'm going to have to go back through this episode and write down pretty much everything. Make sure that I account for the Canva episode and the top 5 tarot books episode. But favorite tarot book of the moment, that's really easy for me because I just referenced it in today's card of the day. So it's the Modern Tarot by Michelle T. So I really, really love this book. I have not read it all the way through, but I did read some of the introduction, and I think I got this I was using the receipt as a bookmark. So I got this in 2017, I think. August of 2017, because there was a bookstore really close to the office that I worked at. I saw it on the shelf, and it was actually like a college bookstore, but they had a pretty good selection for tarot books. So I snapped this up while I was getting my Mocha Choca bullshit or whatever coffee I was getting. And I started reading like the introduction, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I like this. You know, I'm always interested in seeing other tarot readers' perspectives and how they come at the cards and what they think about the major arcana and the minor arcana, and you know how they work with reversals or how they see different different symbols. So, Imaginary Restaurant says, "Will hold my peace, join late, always looking to dive deeper into the court cards." Well, we did do court cards. We did do a couple of episodes, I think, on court cards. I think part 1 and part 2. So you can go back into the archives either on the Tube of You or the Book of Face, um, and search whichever one there. I think the Tube of You will probably be easier to search. You just go to youtube.com/Hilary Tarot. That is Hilary with 1 L. And then once you're on my main channel page, you can use the search to find any episodes that might be applicable. I think just typing in court cards, you'll be able to find it. Awesome. First time. I will do my homework. Awesome. So Sophia's also saying she's a chunky book. Yeah, I like big books and I cannot lie. It is paperback, but it's so good. And so, I know my meanings, for all of the 78 cards of the major arcana, and all the 78 cards of the major arcana. Oh my God. Blah, 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 blah. It's been a long day, folks. All of the tarot cards, the major arcana and the minor arcana, 78 cards in total. I know my meanings and I know my interpretations, and I try to do my interpretations fresh every time. And I try to look at the cards as if I'm seeing it for the very first time. That's another great reading tip, interpretation tip, folks. But sometimes, if I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the card, especially for card of the day, I feel like I have a little bit more space and grace to be able to think more about that card and, research it if I'm feeling so inclined to. I don't just go with my first impressions with the card of the day. I like to really marinate on it sometimes. And so today I got the 10 of Cups reversed, and I was looking at it and I was just like thinking about everything that I wanted to get done today that I wasn't able to do. I mean, I got stuff done today. It's just not everything that I wanted to get done, the amount. And then I was just like, I just felt drawn to seeing what Michelle T said about the 10 of Cups. She doesn't really have reversed meanings in here. They're all like very much story based and personal anecdote based, which I like. I like seeing that perspective and personalizing the tarot to yourself. Otherwise, it's another great way to learn the tarot. Learn it for you. Have that personal connection with your tarot deck. So I turned to the 10 of Cups, and one of the things I saw was nothing special happened today. It's actually been sort of tedious. At breakfast, my son rubbed porridge in his hair, getting it stuck with globs of oats and quinoa and chia seeds. Through it all, we laughed. Not the sort of day you'd expect to be defined by a glowing rainbow stuffed with a rack of golden chalices, but through it all, we laughed and loved each other. Through it all, we felt palpably grateful that we get to be together, that so many risks, the risks of dating and marriage, the risks of fertility treatments and pregnancy and birth, the risk of relocating our little family to a whole new city paid off for us. It is a day like every other day. And as is true of every other day, we are incredibly lucky to have one another. And there is more to that, because it's like a full like 4 to 5 pages for each card. Doesn't matter if it's major or minor arcana, which is I appreciate. And there's also a section on being that card, or embodying that card, or moving through that card's energy. So in this case, some more of the positive cards, there's a note to be more in that energy. But yeah, some of the lead up to that interpretation, she talks about reading tarot, learning to read tarot when she was a 15-year-old goth, alongside my similarly gothic best friend, Peter. As together we learned the vagaries of the suits, the powerful forces of the major arcana, certain cards began to present themselves to us in Peter's words coupons. A ticket from the universe entitling you to some dazzling, much yearned for experience. To be honest, most people who seek a tarot reading are hoping for a coupon, a get out of jail free card for bad behavior, a signed check if times are tough, a bolt of inspiration, or in the case of the Ten of Cups, a promise of happily ever after. But the more she writes on the Ten of Cups is, the couple depicted here aren't newlyweds. The 10 is a grand finale of the cup's emotional ups and downs. This couple has been together through some crazy twists and turns, yet they wound up here enjoying a pretty day, their arms wound affectionately around each other. Neither are they celebrating a big anniversary or marking another noteworthy occasion. This is a simple scene. Two people taking a moment to enjoy the dazzling rainbow that has popped up in a clear blue sky. Okay, I guess that's pretty special. It's time to pause and take the time to really enjoy this moment of peace and abundance in your family sphere, whether it's a family that's birthed you, the family you birthed, or the comrades you pulled around you to create community with, or maybe even all three. So yeah, that's long answer to a short question. Favorite tarot book of the moment is Modern Tarot by Michelle T. I'm going to put that down. So Sophia just downloaded it on Kindle. Great. Oh, Zuri. Hi, Zuri. So Modern Tarot by Michelle T. Favorite of the moment. I feel like I'm behind on the gram of Insta. Jamie asked me, where are you in Stranger Things? We are on season 2, episode 5 or 6. So that's where we're at. I'm not going to give you plot points because I don't want to spoil it for people that might be further behind than us. But yeah, I've been dodging, man. But it's funny. My friend and I were chatting, and she had gone out for drinks with her friend, and she was just like, "So, do you watch Stranger Things?" And I'm just like, "No, not you too. Like, please, I've been avoiding. Like, no spoiler." Blah, blah, blah. Like I literally panicked because I was just like, no. And she was like, no spoilers. It's just that the people who play Nancy and Jonathan were at the restaurant that we were at last night, and I thought that was kind of cool, and I wanted to tell you. And I'm just like, oh god. I'm completely panicked. So yeah, that's where we're at in Stranger Things, season 2, episode 5 or 6. Joe Wings of Joy says, love the podcast. Say hi. So hi to you and Jamie and Melissa as well. and Melissa in absentia. Got it. Yeah, Jamie says, nice to hear you were in season 2. Yeah, we caught up pretty quickly, but we're definitely not caught up. Like, please, no spoilers, please. For the love of goddess, no spoilers. I'm trying so hard. So hi. Hi and bye. Any other questions? Because we're coming up on an hour and 25 minutes, and I wanted to keep things short. And Imaginary Restaurant is leaving right now, and I'm probably going to do the same soon. Have to pop off. Thank you. Love the pod. Appreciate all your hard work and knowledge. Very, very welcome. Jamie says we haven't started season 4 yet at all. Well, same, because you know where we're at now. So, okay. So now that I have the cute graphic up saying follow us, follow me wherever you tune into these weekly lives. Again, we do this every week, Fridays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes I'll do live streaming to the gram of Insta, depending on the topic. This time I couldn't keep my mouth shut, and I can only upload videos that are less than an hour in length. Otherwise, I have to do it live. So for the gram of Insta. So I am going to encourage you to click the bell to be notified of the next time we go live, wherever you subscribe, whether it's the gram of Insta, the tube of you, or the Book of Face. Wherever you tune in, I am appreciative of you being here and joining us on Friday nights, or whenever it is here, time zone stuff notwithstanding. So I was going to do the weekend forecast, but I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Do you want to do a tapping around abundance? Do you want to do a tapping around a short tapping around abundance? Do you want to do a tapping around being psychic as fuck this weekend because of the whole Scorpio vibes that we've got going on this weekend, according to the AstroBiz Digest? Pay attention to those vibes. It's gonna serve you well. Let me know in the chat. We can also do an oracle card too, if that pleases and sparkles, to borrow from South Park. Really irritated at myself that I broke my nail right as I was starting this episode. So Sophia's saying dealer's choice. Okay. By the way, I never put on my lipstick. Did you notice that I never put on my lipstick? I mentioned it and then I didn't. Ooh, this smells good. It's a little darker than I would like, though. Like, smells like donut, but then it also kind of smells like suntan lotion. I'm not quite sure what it smells like. Kind of both. I don't know. That might be too dark for me. It smells really good, though. And it does have like this, it's called Half Caked. And the color is ASAP. And it's from Caked Makeup. I think it's intended to be like a donut kind of thing. Oh, it goes on liquid, but it kind of dries matte. I don't know if I like that. I think I told you already. Yeah. It's like I think it's like a liquid matte lipstick. And then the mirror that I'm using is, it's actually a shaping wax that comes with a mirror in it and clear. And it's from Patrick Ta. And you activate the formula with a setting mist or water, and then you brush a spoolie in the pan, and then you do your eye. It's like kind of the way to get like soap brows. So that's the Patrick Ta for brows, which actually I enjoy. But... Oh, Zuri says the color is flattering on me. Okay, I'll take it. Maybe it's the combination of this color with this. I don't know. But it like dried really quickly. I don't know if I like it very much. All right. I think that we're going to do a oracle card. Maybe not do a tapping so much. But if you're interested in tapping, I do have tapping sessions available. They are on my website, tarotbyhilary.com. They are a little bit more expensive than my hour-long tarot sessions because of the replayability of a tapping session. Like, you can revisit a tapping session for however long as it is resonant and continue to do the tapping alongside the video. So because of the replayability, it's a little bit more expensive than a regular hour-long tarot session. But if you're already familiar with tapping, or if you've had a tapping practice session with me before, I think it's well worth it. And I think it is actually reasonably priced. So you can book either a tarot session with me or a tapping session with me. And sometimes you can do both. And I'm realizing that, sometimes I will pull tarot cards, and do a tapping session around the themes that come up. And in fact, if you want to go on to the Talk of Tick, I did do 2 really short tapping sessions, one for boosting your intuition and one for aligning yourself with the energy of money. So if that interests you, you can check that out on the Talk of Tick, and it is the same username as all the rest of my social media, Tarot by Hilary. Remember, Hilary with 1 L. All right. I'm going to pull from the Moonology, because I feel like we always go back to the Work Your Light Oracle or the Starseed Oracle. And so I don't really feel that we've worked with this one that often, or that often recently, besides, of course, talking about it in last week's episode on the top 5 Oracle decks. So. Tempting to just pull from the deep card, but I will shuffle. So this is the Moonology Oracle cards by Yasmin Boland, who is also the author of Moonology, which is a book on moon phases and astrology. So what do we need to know this weekend besides all of the astrology stuff that we already know about from the top of the episode? Yeah, we need to tap. So the card that we are getting from the Moonology deck is You Are Good Enough, full moon in Virgo. Now, that's not necessarily what's happening right now in the astrological side, in the astrological, weather right now, but it is the card that we are pulling up. So, and the message is you are good enough. So yeah, we might need to do a little tapping. Shit. I didn't want to have to do this live, but I've done it live before. So as I'm pulling out the guidebook for You Are Good Enough, full moon in Virgo, I invite everyone to think about a situation in which you are not feeling good enough, where you're feeling lacking, where you're not feeling the confidence that you want to feel in that situation. So think about that. Keep that in the space of your mind. Write it into the chat if you're feeling so emboldened, while I look up the guidebook meanings for full moon in Virgo. And you can still do that as I'm reading. Okay. We'll lean back here so all of you can see me and see the card. It is time to be really honest with yourself and understand what's led you to ask your question. Have you been humble to the point of being self-effacing? Humility is good, but can go too far, and drawing this card suggests you may be underrating yourself. You don't have to be flash, just quietly certain that you are good enough. At the other end of the scale, you also need to honestly answer this question. Have you been too picky? The full moon in Virgo card needs some truthful answers. Once you've given them, it should be easier to see how you got where you are. Your next step should be then more obvious to you. Pay attention to the details. Hard work brings results. So attuning to the moon Find a balance between the cosmic and the mundane in your daily life. Additional meanings for this card: worrying too much will attract more things to worry about. Have you been overly critical? An apology may be in order. Stop second guessing yourself and raise your karma by doing something good for someone else. The teaching: the full moon in Virgo is a time to declutter your life, your home, and your office. It's the time to sort what's good in your life from what's not serving you. It's also the time to clear out your energies via salt baths and meditations, and to practice getting more grounded by walking barefoot, perhaps. No matter when you draw this card, it's a reminder that any time is a good time to start living a healthier life. All right, I'm seeing that the chat is really, really quiet right now. Are we feeling called out? Have the cards come for us again? Unsurprising, by the way. Let me know. Let me know if you want to tap on this a little bit. I can give suggestions. We might not do a full tapping. We might just do a little short one. A wee bit, Sophia says. A wee bit. A scotch. A little. Anyone else? Don't be shy. I'm feeling called out too. All right, let's do a little side of the hand then. So all you have to do for tapping is just follow along with me, follow along with the tapping points, tap on the points I'm tapping on, and say the words that I'm saying out loud. Now, if you're watching this or watching the replay and you're not in a space where you can speak out loud, you can speak in your own mind, say it silently. But most of the time, if you can, tap on the points, say what I'm saying out loud. If you want to personalize what you're saying because you're not in agreement with what I'm saying, by all means, personalize, especially if you feel something coming up for you. Like, oh, well, this is actually what's coming up for me. Say that instead. The more you personalize the tapping, the better it will work for you. So side of the hand, tap on it as if you're trying to attract someone's attention in a crowded space, in a crowded and noisy space. Repeat after me, taking full responsibility for yourself. Whew. Hold on, let me look at this one more time. Have that beautiful card in front of me as I'm doing this. And feel free to chime in the chat too. But if you're chiming in the chat, I know that you're not tapping along. So Katie is saying, yes, please. Tapping is good. All right, cool. Okay. And I'm actually going to invite you to fill in the blanks too. So when I say blank, please fill in the blank, okay? Even though I'm feeling not good enough about blank, I still love, accept, and forgive myself. There is something about this situation that is just testing my confidence. And I may not even know what it is about this situation that is making me feel so insecure. And I really don't need to know. All I know is that I am feeling unworthy. I'm feeling unworthy of the things that are in my life right now. I'm feeling unworthy about the prosperity that I have. And I'm also kind of worried about focusing on the things that I don't have. Because that damn companion book just said if I focus on it, I'm going to attract more things to be worried about. But the thing is, there can be a balance. And I think this is what that card is trying to tell me right now. That I can have wonderful things in my life and still want more. But in order to have those more wonderful things, I do have to start feeling worthy of them. What is good enough? What does that feel like in my body? To feel worthy, how do I feel in my body? Do I need to feel safe? Do I need to feel seen and heard? Do I need to have a good night's sleep? Even tapping on this is making me feel really weird. But I'm also calmer about that situation. I do feel good enough. I do feel more worthy. And even if something comes up to make me feel a little bit insecure, all I'm going to do is tap on the side of my hand and let it pass. Because in running from that feeling of insecurity, I'm just bringing more insecurity. So I'm just going to let myself feel it. Because on the other side of feeling that insecurity, I'm going to feel safe. Because I get to look back on that and say, oh, that feeling didn't kill me. I am good enough for blank. I am capable enough for blank. I am worthy and deserving of good things. I believe that I am worthy of good things. All right, stop right there. Take a deep breath in and let it go. If you happen to have some water, take a drink of water. Let me know what's coming up for you before we move into the main tapping. I'm going to take some water too. P.S. If you're yawning, if you're crying, if you're burping, if you're feeling tired all of a sudden, those are all natural releases and signs that the energy is moving through you when you're tapping. I'll give it another 30 seconds or so, and then we'll move into the main tapping. I feel like I'm going to use some verbiage from like Stu Smiley. I'm smart enough. I'm confident enough, and darn it, people like me. If I balance that there, it's going to fall over. All right, no comments from the peanut gallery. I'm going to move into the main tapping. And also, we want to give ourselves a little bit of an intuitive boost for this weekend too, because I know that Scorpio is factoring very heavily right now. So let's make sure that we're also realizing that we're good enough, and also we're realizing that we're good enough to hear our intuition. Starting at the top of the head, I will show you the points in turn as we go to them. Just follow along with me, tap on the points that I do, say the words that I say, taking full responsibility for yourself and your actions. I am worthy of wanting good things. I am allowed to have good things happen to me. I can trust that my intuition is leading me to good things. I am worthy and deserving of feeling good. Feeling good is my job. I am not missing my intuition. Because Hilary tells me every week that I have intuition just like her. And if Hilary believes in my intuition, then so can I. I am worthy of my intuitive insights. It's okay for me to feel insecure. But when I feel insecure, I'm not going to run from that feeling anymore. I'm going to feel that feeling even though it's uncomfortable. Because pretty soon a new feeling is going to replace it. And that new feeling is probably going to be better than feeling insecure. I can't stop myself from having feelings about things. And denying my feelings is probably preventing good things from coming to me. In order to feel good feelings, I may have to feel some bad feelings first. But feeling those feelings it's probably not going to kill me. And avoiding those feelings is just a form of procrastination. What would it take for me to feel worthy right now? It might be tapping on my face. and saying words out loud, it may be taking one small action toward that thing. It may be just sleeping on it. I know that my life was meant to be more. And wanting more for my life is not a selfish thing. Because when I get more, I can give more. And the more I give, the more worthy of my dreams I feel. I don't have to figure it all out right now. I don't even have to know why I want the things that I want. I just have to take baby steps. So this weekend, I'm feeling into my intuition. I am using those Scorpio intuitive psychic vibes and knowing that this weekend is amplified for intuition. It is the best time for me to listen to my intuition. I want to play with this form of knowledge. I want to see what I can do with this gift. Because if I come at this with the spirit of play, I just can't go wrong. I am worthy of everything that I'm dreaming of. The more I get, the more I can give. It's actually not selfish at all. I have decided that I am going to be the generosity queen. Actually, the more I listen to my intuition, the more my abundance increases. I am worthy and deserving. I am naturally intuitive. I am worthy of my deepest and biggest desires. I'm not insecure anymore. Take a deep breath in and hold it and let it go. All right, so we do have some realizations that came up. So Katie said, I think in between the side of hand and the main tapping, did the most massive yawn and body stretch. Cool, cool. And Zuri gave the feedback, such a powerful message. When I get more, I can give more. It's just so true. It is. It is. It's really, really true. And so, I want to let everybody know that that's a little bit of what tapping can do. And if you want to be even more specific, see what your underlying stuff is, work with an EFT practitioner. I am one of them. I just got my certification at the end of April in the Gala Darling method, which is a very specific type of EFT tapping the points and what she says and how to say it and when and but definitely we are not clones of Gala Darling. We have taken her method and are using it in our own bright and beautiful way. But there is a lot that a tapping session can do, and you can find almost a tapping session for anything on the internet, videos that you can follow along with. But I really would encourage you, like, if you have stuff that you want to work on, like, work with an EFT practitioner, because they can ask you really specific questions, get down to some root issues, not to re-traumatize you, but to really make your tapping session more focused and more powerful. If you're interested in that, I mean, like, this kind of stuff is amazing. Doing it with a group of people is great, and you can return to it at any time that you want, because we do have replays for all of these episodes. But really, like, reach out to me if you're interested in doing a tapping session one-on-one. I would love to be able to serve you with this new modality that I'm very excited about. Hi, Red Light Readings. Hello. Zuri says, thank you for sharing a moment of EFT tonight. Yeah, and I really want to do this more for people that are familiar with tapping or not so familiar with tapping. It really is amazing. I feel about EFT tapping the same way I felt about tarot when I first discovered tarot at 16 years old. I'm just like, this is weird, but it works. Feel the same way about tapping. Like, this is weird, but it works. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode, which is kind of like a general episode, but also an Ask Me Anything episode. I enjoyed it immensely. I'm going to end things over on the gram of Insta and then wrap up over on the Tube of You and the Book of Face. So thank you for joining me, gram of Insta followers. I appreciate it. And I will put up the video shortly. So sorry if you're tuning in late, but that's okay. That's what the replays are for. So let me end that there. And share. All right, I'll fix that in a second. All right, let me remove hide message from stream. Take off the weekend crawler, take off the follow us widget. So again, I want to remind everybody that we do this every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, different metaphysical topics or divination topics. Katie's saying, thank you as always for a wonderful session. You're so welcome. I'm happy to bring this stuff to you. And if you want to work with me, tarotbyhilary.com. Also, do want to mention, if you enjoy some of these lives and you would like to support me in monetarily, you can do that by sending along a tip to the virtual tip jar. That's paypal.me/tarot by Hilary NY is my paypal.me link. I will put that into the chat just to remind people that, this is my business. I'm happy to do these things for free, but lighting costs money, Canva costs money, these things cost money. But if you are not able to contribute, that is totally fine too. But please share these videos, sprinkle these videos wherever you view them. if you think a friend of yours would like to attend some of these lives, or be like, oh, this particular episode, I think my friend Georgia would really like this episode on court cards. I'm going to send it along to her. Like, all of these you can link through the Tube of You or the Book of Face. Send it along. I would really, really appreciate it. So that is in the chat, wherever you're tuning in. Yeah, hopefully the actual link came up. No, or not. Well, I'm sure you can copy paste. Anyway, have a good weekend, everybody. So once again, I am Hilary, professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your intuition. Because yes, my friends, don't argue with me. You have intuition, and we just did kind of a tapping on it too. So your intuition is now boosted for the weekend. And if you need another extra boost on worthiness or intuition, return to the session. It's okay. That's what it's there for. All right. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all again next Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye.